Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Gautam's Cooking Adventures. In this episode, we'll take you through the steps to make Dum Aloo, or also known as Aloor Dum. Please like this channel, subscribe to it, and click on the bell icon to be notified all future episodes. Thank you. As always, you will find a copy of the ingredients list in the description below this video. Before we get started, we will need to make a paste of the following items. There's tomatoes, there's red onions, green chilies, there's black cardamom, and there's green cardamom, some clove, some cinnamon, and there's bay leaf. Along with that, there's also a spoon of ginger garlic paste, some cumin powder, a tablespoon of coriander powder. Now, we've also kept some red chilies in water, soaked it for a little while because we want to make this soft so that when we are grinding it, it's easy to grind into a proper paste. Now the chili that we've used over here is a Kashmiri red chili variety. The rest of the ingredients that we will require for making this preparation is aloo, of course, and we've taken small aloo because Dum Aloo usually is cooked as a whole and you want small aloos that are bite-sized. There's mustard oil, that's coconut milk, some yogurt, some coriander, turmeric powder, kasuri methi leaves, that is Jeera, and salt to taste. Now the aloo that you see over here is actually what we've grown in our garden, and so obviously we like the fact that we grew this. The yogurt will have to be whipped up before we start using it. So we're going to start grinding all of the components that we talked about originally. That's onions, the spices, tomatoes, ginger garlic paste, jeera powder, coriander powder, and lastly the soaked chilies. We're also using the water that we soaked the chili in, since it has the flavor already, to just slightly provide the liquid base to grind. That's the thick paste that comes after the grinding, which is what we will use as you're cooking this to make the masala. In a large pan, we're going to add some mustard oil and heat this till it's nice and hot. So in the hot oil, we will first fry the potatoes. The idea is to give it a slight coating of a fried outside, and while it's frying, it also cooks a little bit inside. We have boiled the potatoes ahead of time and then skinned them to start the preparation. So that's another thing you might want to do before you get started. We will fry the potatoes till they get a nice brown coating on outside, and then that'll be ready for the next step. The potatoes are browned nicely. As you can see, they're brown on the surface, and that's kind of where we want it to be. We're now going to get started with adding the rest of the ingredients. We'll first take out the potatoes itself. Now that the potatoes have been removed in the same oil, we're going to start cooking the rest of the ingredients, starting with the jeera. Allow the jeera to fry just a little bit in a few seconds. As jeera is browned, we're adding the paste that we created earlier. Mix them nicely. Add the turmeric powder. Now the redness of the paste itself comes from the chili. Remember that we use the Kashmiri red chili, and the Kashmiri chili is not a hot chili, but what it does is gives it a nice red color. Salt to taste. We're cooking this on a medium heat, and we'll allow it to cook till all the ingredients in the paste cooks well, and the raw taste of the onions and the tomatoes disappear. In the aloo that we have fried earlier, we're just making small holes in them using a little toothpick. The idea is when we are cooking the aloo later on, it allows for the masalas and the flavors to go inside and flavor the inside of the aloo as well. We'll cook the paste, we'll cook this masala till the oil separates. Now you'll notice that the paste is kind of granular. It's not a fine paste, it's a granular paste, and that's how you want it to be, because you want this to form a coating on top of the aloo. Since this will ultimately turn out to be a gravy, we don't want this to be a smooth gravy, but a gravy that is rich and pasty as well as granular. We're going to put the lid on and let it cook for a few minutes. Okay, back again. We're taking another look. The paste is nicely cooked. The oil has started to separate. It's also thickened. Lost some of its water that it had from before, but we like it to be slightly more thicker and cook a little more. So we're going to put the lid back and wait for just another couple minutes. So we've made a final check. The masala has cooked nicely, it's thickened, and as you can see, there's oil separating all along the edges. So the masala is now ready for the next step, which is adding in the aloo that we prepared earlier, and make sure it's coated nicely with the masala. This is a good time for you to check the salt content, and if you wish, you could add more salt if you need it. Remember, always start with less salt and add more as you need. So now that it's nicely coated, we're now going to start adding the coconut milk to this. Now remember, coconut milk will also reduce the salt content somewhat, so you're going to have to keep checking the salt level as you're going through this process. Blend it well and let it cook for a little while. Now we are going to cook this for a little bit with a closed lid, so it allows the potatoes to cook a little bit and take in some of the masalas, the taste of the masala, as well as the coconut milk taste that we've added to it. We just added a little bit of water because we'd like it to be a little more of a curry. And now we'll cover it and leave it to cook for a few minutes. We've been cooking this for about 5 minutes. We're now going to check. And it's a nice thick curry. The aloo is cooked nicely in it. We'll now lower the flame to a low flame, and now start adding the yogurt. So we've added the yogurt to the mix. and mix it up nicely. The yogurt will give it the creaminess, apart from the coconut milk also providing some level of creaminess to it. The yogurt also introduces a little bit of sourness to it. Now, just before adding the yogurt, what we actually did was switch the stove off because we wanted the yogurt not to break apart as we added it into it. And we will now just switch it back on and allow it to come to a first boil and then switch it off. As we are cooking this, we are also adding to it the kasuri methi. Now, what we did with the kasuri methi earlier was we heated it for 15 seconds on microwave. It makes it easy for us then to powder it by hand. It also releases the flavor of the methi, and that helps to flavor the curry better. Mix it nicely, and just as you get to the first boil, you're pretty much done. You'll notice that the oil started to separate, it's starting to show along on the top, and it's just started to boil. This is all you need. So Dum Aloo is ready at this point of time. All that is left now is to transfer this into a dish, and then we will garnish it with the coriander leaves, and it's ready to serve. We've transferred the Dum Aloo into a serving dish and garnished it with coriander. It's now ready to be served and eaten. That's it, folks. Thank you for watching. Please like this channel, subscribe to it, and click on the bell icon to be notified all future episodes. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Look forward to any suggestions or comments from you, and please do keep supporting us. Thank you for watching.